to the Breakthrough Show. It's Shirley and Jessica. Yes, we love y'all.
Start your day the joyful way. It's your weekday morning talk show inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes. And now here's your host, the queen of joy herself, Jessica Dugas. Good Tuesday morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, right? Do you ever say that? Do you ever say what day it is and then go, is it? It's Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday, June 28th, 2022. In case you didn't know that it was Tuesday, I'm just trying to help you out. I feel like sometimes we get back in that Twilight Zone space. I said this morning, I brought my son to work and I've had so much on my mind lately. The world, personal things, family things, work things, show things, so many things. I left a message for my friend Heather and I said, if a police officer would have come behind me this morning because I was speeding or something, I wouldn't have known. I was just so in my head. I would have gotten home, lights in the yard. It would have been a disaster. But I'm so focused and, thinking about 800 things, but still focused, like just a lot going on right now. So let me know if you can relate this beautiful Tuesday morning. I'm really excited. Coming up on the show today, Brett Weiss is here from the Weiss Scholarship Foundation. He's not just from the foundation, he's the founder of the foundation. Yes. And I shared about, it was his birthday recently. We sang to him the other day. And I also shared about his book, Give Them a Hug. Just give them a hug and the rest will be easy. The work that he does to eliminate poverty from this planet, starting by sending children to school in a little village called Dago, Kenya. And I actually found there's a little part in this book that really gets us out of our comfort zone and moves me beyond words. So I'm excited to share a little bit about what I love from that perspective this morning. And I can't wait to hear about Brett being in Kenya recently, went back to Kenya. I'm excited to hear about the whole trip because he got to see and hug my friend, which I haven't even gotten to see and hug, Olivia Ambani. So excited to hear about all that coming up. If you're joining us live or on the replay, I would love for you to say hi. I see Miss Brittany here this morning, wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. Good to see you this morning, my friend. I hope you are feeling better. Lots of people have in my life are dealing with a certain thing. We don't have to say it out loud at the moment because we're not putting that in the universe. We're not doing it. But they're dealing with a certain thing. And so sending them lots of love. And the good thing is everything I'm seeing seems pretty mild lately. So grateful for that. Listen, I need a whole Care Bear stare from you guys this morning. I've shared with you guys that we are moving. We are going back to where it all began for me in Connecticut. We're moving back there. And we had decided to rent something for a while before we buy. And the rental market, I have shared, is just insanity right now. Like things are moving so quickly. And so we have had a time, like we're literally 17 days until feet are on the ground and don't have a roof yet. So just having that moment of like, look, there will always be somewhere, you don't have to worry about us, but a little bit, I am a planner. Okay. And when it can't, I'm struggling. So we found a place yesterday. We should hear this morning. I need everybody watching right now to send all the vibes. Care Bear stare, prayers, good vibrations with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, whatever you need to do, please. Thank you. And I will let you know. I'm hoping, and it's a wonderful location and everything. And so really excited that it's going to be ours. I'm manifesting it live on the show right now. So excited about that. Brought me a lot of joy this morning. We were looking at the place on Google Earth and my my daughter came in and she's like, Mama, we can walk to the park. She was so excited. So crossing all the fingers and toes this morning. What else is bringing me joy today? So I went and, of course, looked at what the national days are today. To anyone who may be watching in Alaska, it is National Alaska Day. So happy Alaska Day to you. Have a wonderful day. I'm curious to know what the weather's like in Alaska today. I should have looked it up. I'm that weird person that's like, I hear a town and I'm like, I wonder what's the weather there. Yes, strange. It is also apparently National Insurance Awareness Day. Who knew? I didn't know, certainly. It is also National Paul Bunyan Day. Paul Bunyan Day. It's Tales of the Big Blue Ox and a Mighty Lumberjack. Do you guys remember stories of Paul Bunyan from when we were in school? He was accompanied by his companion Babe the Blue Ox. Apparently the stories of Paul Bunyan first came into print in 1906. Very interesting. By a Northern Michigan journalist, James McGillivray. I hope I'm saying that right. At any rate, apparently that these folk tales circulated among all the lumberjacks in the United States and Eastern Canada. Very interesting. Happy Paul Bunyan Day to everybody. It is also, this is what's interesting. I talked about, listen, I am a planner. I have to know details of everything. It is National Logistics Day. And I'm always that person. I have to know, I have to plan, I have to organize all of these things. And then when it doesn't go as planned, I lose my mind. It's what happens. But we know that this is something that I have to fix about myself because sometimes things don't go as planned. Annually, National Logistics Day on June 28th promotes appreciation for the important role the logistics industry plays in both our national and global economy. So they're talking about logistics teams, not necessarily logistics themselves, but the logistics, the definition is the detailed coordination of a complex operation involving many people, facilities, or supplies. So of course, as a homeschooling mom, and a mom of 6 children. And what do we have? 9 shows on the Breakthrough Show Network now? Of course, I'm interested in logistics. It's just the way it is. So anyway, Miss Brittany's here this morning, as I mentioned, and thank you for the compliment, Miss Brittany. I appreciate you. I see all of you, the other ones of you there. Say hello. Let me know what's bringing you joy today. What else is bringing me joy? Just getting closer. Almost time to go. It was cooler this morning. I didn't melt to the ground when I walked outside this morning. So grateful for that. And that brought me a lot of joy. It has been heat index in the hundreds every day here in Alabama. And I cannot. I can't. It's not for me. Everybody who finds out we're moving is like, oh, it's cold up there. And I said, yes, that's the point. I'm very excited. So anyway, that's what's going on in my world today. We are going to take a quick break in just a moment. Oh, Miss Karen's here this morning too. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. We're going to take a quick break, you guys, and we will be right back with Brett Weiss from the Weiss Scholarship Foundation. Don't go anywhere.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, Change the way you look at and live your life and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. As we specified in the first part of the show, it's Tuesday, June 28th, 2022. I'm really excited to welcome a friend of mine back to the show. Brett Weiss is the founder of the Weiss Scholarship Foundation that are making a big effort to eliminate poverty on this planet through their organization and sending children to school in a little village called Dago, Kenya. Without further ado, let's welcome Brett Weiss back to the network. Good morning, Brett.
Good morning. I'm glad you said it was Tuesday because I'm still kind of on Kenya time, and I wake up, I really don't know what day it is. And I didn't look at a calendar, but you told me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you ever have that moment where you you say the day and then you just, wait a minute, where are we?
Well, most every day. Hey, Brittany.
Glad that I'm not alone in that. Glad that I'm not alone in that for sure. Yes, we are so glad that you're back. And I am so excited to hear about your travels, but I am most excited about, and this had nothing to do with your actual travel itself, but I have to show this to the people. Check this out, you guys. Hold on, let me, if I can play it. Where's the play? There we go. I love it. Yes.
Hey, I did not hear the volume. I don't know if
I hope it played. I don't know. If you guys didn't hear it, just I'll post it later on our social media too, but it just made me so thrilled that you guys got to meet. What was the experience like?
I have to tell you, just her walking in a room is like a ray of sunshine, much more than I've expected. She just walks in and the whole room changes. It's focused on her. She's amazing. She's a very, very smart woman who knows a lot about a lot of things. Just it's just so positive. I mean, it was really exciting to meet her. And when you plan a trip like this, you're not always sure you're going to make everything happen.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that happened.
Yeah. And I just saw you guys didn't hear it. I'm sorry about that. I will try to get the volume fixed and play it for you again at some point, and I'll also post it to our social media later. But it made me so happy because I don't get the opportunity to travel a whole lot, but it has been so fun for me to meet people in different countries and get to say, like, my dad and my brothers are going to Iceland. And I said, well, I know somebody in Iceland now. You guys can do that. So it's fun for me to be able to do that.
Yes. Yeah, just an important part of the video, so your viewers know, was the connection part. Because you always talk about how you love to make connections. And so we made the point, you connected us, and that was very important.
Yeah. When you sent that to me, I ran upstairs and showed my kids and I was like, look who got to meet. I was so excited. But it had been a while since you had been back to Kenya, right?
Yes, because of COVID. It had been a long time. Yes. Yeah. But was glad to be back and saw a lot of changes. I mean, it's nice to see improvements in the country. The roads, which are still pretty bad, are significantly better. That makes it a lot easier for getting around because we do a lot of traveling to many, many places in Kenya.
Right. Well, it's good to hear that they're moving forward and all of that. For anybody that's new to you that hadn't seen you on the show before, give everybody a little overview of what the foundation is about. What is your mission, and where is it exactly in Kenya that you're working?
Yeah. I made a trip there in 2009, and our mission is, more than half the children in the world get little to no education. In places like Kenya, it's probably about 80%. They get little to no education. And we believe the only way you're ever going to end poverty is to have children at least complete high school. So we awarded a scholarship in 2012 for a child to go to high school. We have now awarded 141 of them. We have had 4 students graduate university, 8 graduate vocational schools, many more to come. And, we're setting these people up where they're going to have great lives and make a good living. But we do much more than that. I learned early on, you have to do more than just pay school fees. These children are coming from homes. Many of them don't have either parent. Very few have both parents. So we have 6 staff people, and we're actually going to be adding a 7th very soon, who are totally engaged in the lives of our children. They visit them at school. We go over their report cards. We meet with all the staff people at their school. We meet with their parents. We want everybody involved in the child's life to be working together to make sure that they're going to be very, very successful. So it's much, much more than just paying school fees. And we're very excited here. And we work in more than just Dago, I should point out. In the last 2 years, we've added 3 other locations. Dago is our home. It's still the majority of students, but we have talked about, we scaled our business model, what we call an holistic business model. So we're in 4 locations, and all in the southwest part of Kenya, though.
I love, are there any big differences between the locations, or are they all dealing with the same types of things?
From a humanity perspective, it's all the same. It's dirt poor poverty, less than $2 a day income.
Wow.
No electricity, no plumbing, all that kind of stuff. But everything is very tribal. When you're in a place like Kenya, there's 42 tribes. So 3 of our locations are pretty much all Luo. Like in Dago, they're the Luo tribe. Happens to be the same tribe Barack Obama's dad was from. But one of our new locations is in Maasai country, the Maasai tribe. And culturally, historically, Maasai are very different than the Luo. To one extent, children are children, but much of the culture is very, very different. So that's a little bit new for us in dealing with that and learning and understanding their culture, because it's very different than the Luo tribe.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things that I know was mentioned, not just in the Breakthroughs Around the World series that we're doing and talking to different people throughout Africa about the very tribal nature of things, but also when I'm working with Dorothy Auger on the For Love poem and how that has spread, it was the same thing, talking to the people in Africa from her organization as well. And then when I had my guests on, when I did the interview, which will be coming out next month with my friends in Tanzania, they said that country in particular, I guess the leader, I can't remember his name now, but we had a whole part about it, put a lot of work in to try to make it a more unified I guess experience and have it be like country, tribe, family, like, being a little less tribal in that way. But I see the importance of that too, because there's so much history within these different tribes of people, right?
Right. But a little perspective, I have a lot of Kenyan friends now in the United States. They all will tell me that they consider the United States much more tribal than any other country in the world. That we don't use the word tribe, but it's the same concept. And that kind of helps me keep it in perspective. Yeah. But you're right, it's a battle. The Maasai people of all the tribes are the ones who are working hardest to cling to their culture and tradition and don't really want to change. And that clashes with a government that wants everybody to be Kenyans. You're not Luo, you're not Maasai. They want everybody to be Kenyans. But, that takes place in every country in the world. It's always, there's always going to be a clash there.
Yeah. I mean, you think about here, even politically, we were talking about earlier, like, Republican, Democrat, whatever, like, and everybody's so like, this is who I am. And so we do see that. And I appreciate you bringing that perspective, because we don't often think about it, like you said, because we don't use the word tribe. I want to go back to what you said, because I want the audience to really imagine this morning. Less than $2 a day.
Yeah, that's the average family income. Yes.
That is for a family, even.
Yes,
okay.
Think about that. Yes.
You're talking about less than $60 a month. I want you guys to just think about that for a moment. Just think about it. Now, does anything even out at all there as far as the expenses of things, how much things cost?
A little bit. Food is much less expensive there, but food, when we talk about food there, it's very basic food.
Right.
Pretty much everything they eat is this ugali, which is made out of corn, or chapati, which is made out of corn, or everything they eat is very inexpensive kind of food. So the food, whether it's in your home or you go to a restaurant, doesn't cost very much, but it also is just very, very basic. But lots of other things, like anything with technology, is considerably more expensive there. So that's why it's so hard for these people to come into the world of technology, because it's incredibly expensive. So yeah, food is cheaper, but the reality is less than $2 a day is less than $2 a day.
Yeah.
And yes, we have poor people here. We have millions of people in our own country growing up poor, and that's a shame. That's a crime. But poverty in a place like Kenya is totally different. Whole
Right.
different thing.
Yeah, and it's interesting to talk about too the technology aspect of it, because I think many of us are like, oh, the whole world has internet, so it should be no problem. And then I found out, again, going back to my conversation, in which Tanzania is obviously a different country, but the remoteness of there, like it's not a thing to, like, we got cut off about 6 times during our interview because the internet was so bad.
Yeah, well, we're dealing with right now, we have this young woman, Christine, coming to university in the United States. The last step here is we have to get her an interview at the U.S. State Department in Nairobi. There's a bunch of things that have to be done that she has to do. Well, she's living back home now, and where she lives, she's at least 45 minutes away, but walking away from where there's electricity and internet. And we need to get her on the internet and stuff. So and I'm explaining to people here, you don't understand the challenges that she's facing there. I mean, we're going to get this done, but it isn't like she can just wake up and, okay, I'm on the internet. She has to walk 45 minutes to get at it.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about that, because I never know who's going to watch the show or see the show, but you do have a student who's trying to come to the States to go to university. But so tell us about her, what she's doing, and then what you need, so in case anybody sees it.
She's a remarkable young woman, and she, when we pick students for high school based on an exam they take at the end of high school, and historically the girls tend to score a lot lower than the boys, not because they're not as smart, but for a whole lot of reasons beyond their control. They miss a lot of school. Well, Christine, when she graduated primary school, had by far the highest grade from Dago ever. And she got to go to what is considered, it's called a national school. It's an elite level of schools. And she went to the best one, called Alliance Girls High School. And when she got there, they're very big on ranking. She was like the big fish in Dago, but she was near the bottom of the Alliance.
Wow.
She ended up graduating in the top 30 girls in the country. And I mean, she's taken the SAT and the TOEFL exam and done very, very well. So she is all set to go to Elmhurst University, which is very near me in the western suburb of Chicago, in August. And we've had to go through the whole process of, getting the passport and then applying for the student visa. There's all kinds of things you have to do, but we will have her here in August, and she will be a freshman. And I spent a lot of time with her on this trip. And how do you prepare someone who's grown up in a mud hut, no electricity, no plumbing? How do you prepare that person for the United States, cold weather, totally different culture, totally different food? I can't even imagine what she's going to go through here. But we purposely have her in a small college, because my Kenyan friends all told me, don't put her on a big campus, get her in a small college. Elmhurst is about 2,500. So we are incredibly excited about this. And actually, I think I'm more nervous than she is. She's pretty calm and cool about the whole thing. I'm very nervous.
I'm sure you are, and I'm sure she is too. But she seemed like, even just the stories you've told about her and the posts that I've seen about her on social media, she seems like one that, even if she's feeling that nervousness, she's going to pull it together and just be like, I'm fine, and this is going to be great.
Well, it's funny, many of the adults in Dago, she's just very, very bright. I mean, she's just a young woman who has been gifted from God and so on. And many of the adults in Dago are worried that she's overconfident, that she just thinks she's so smart. And I looked at them, and I taught high school kids for a lot of years. I said, most of our kids in the United States go to university overconfident. They think they're just the coolest, the smartest, whatever. And then they get to university, and it's like a brick wall. And I'm sure she'll have some moments of like, I better study harder, or, everybody's smart here. I'm not the only smart one. So she'll have her moments, and she'll learn, and she'll adjust.
Yeah. Well, we're really excited for her, and I know that it'll work out. Somebody's going to come forward and make this happen, and help you guys out with whatever she needs to get her over here to the States and start that next part of her journey. The one thing that I see, and I've really learned about this, and we talked about this when you and Olivia, when we did the special on Kenya as well, that we can live in our own bubbles and think that things are a certain way around the world. But there's also, because we're not near there and haven't experienced it, there can be like a level of disconnect there of not truly understanding. And one of the things that I was sharing about before, so your book, you've shared about everything with starting the foundation and all of that, the experiences you've had in Kenya. In the back, there are some, you share some of the application essays from the children that you require them to write an essay to apply for the school. And there's this one that I read that I wanted to share with everybody because first of all, their penmanship is better than mine.
Much better than mine. Much better than most of my high school students.
Yeah. But when I read this, and I read this to you guys, I know a lot of you that are watching are parents yourself. And I just want you to hear this and while thinking about your kids, and because that's what makes the connection for me. Says how I grew up and the challenges I have faced. I grew up in a poor family where my parents have no money to take me to school. Sometimes while in school, my fellow pupils laugh at me because of my rags, and the teachers also send me back home to go and bring the school fees, but my parents cannot afford. My parents have no money to buy food to keep us going, and we sometimes go without food. I always look untidy among my fellow pupils because we lack soap to make them clean. I do wash them without soap and wear them while they are still wet. Education is something very important to me. It has made other people's lives shining. I have been going to school daily and have been noticing the benefits of education day by day. Education is right, education is light, and education is life. I have seen other people's life good and meaningful because education. My parents have given me my right to education. When I complete my education, I'll be able to tell others what education is. I just love that. Go ahead.
And Jessica, multiply that by several million. In other words, many millions and millions of children in this world, just in Kenya alone, but many more millions in the world who live just that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Good morning, Mandy. Yeah, I think it's important for us to be able to understand what people are going through to have that moment of comparison with our own lives. And we don't want to say that anybody's, challenges are more prioritized than anybody else on the planet. But looking at that, like that, it hit me when I started learning about these children and then looking at my children and kind of putting that together and going, oh God, like what if this was my kids? Mandy said that made me have a knot in my throat. I mean, really, because we don't put it together sometime. Obviously we mentioned there's been a lot of growth over when you went and got to see. What was the experience like going back? You got to interact with some of the children. Like, how are they doing? Give us the overview of how everything's looking with the kids.
Yeah, we have 84 children who are in high school right now. We met with 62 of them, which was a lot. And it's the best part about what I do, Jessica, because you meet with them and, they're so appreciative of the opportunity that they have. They just can't thank you enough. I mean, it's the light is on for them. It's totally opened up, and they know that most of the friends they grew up with are back in the village, and life isn't going to be any different. So it's exciting to meet with them. We have 4 university graduates. We spent real quality time with them. So exciting. Vocational school graduates. We met with many, many of the parents of our current students and students who are what we call alumni. And it's so rewarding. And I don't know if I had young man named Billy, who's a former student of mine, who is a professional video person, came with me. He's making a documentary. He took over 40 hours of video that he
Wow.
now is going to work at trying to put into a 90-minute documentary. So, but it was so good. It energizes me. Yeah. Because I come back more motivated than ever because I
Mm.
can see the good that we're doing and I just want to do a lot more good.
That's amazing. Amazing. I know in that little letter that I read there, and also you've explained some of the issues with poverty, but uh, when you're sending the children to school, is there anything else that happens with them? Because as we read in that letter, there's issues with, are they getting enough to eat? Are they
Yep.
clothed properly? Like, do they just get sent to school, or are there other things that are happening as well to help them in the other parts of their lives?
Yeah, we're paying for everything. They all go to boarding schools. They are living much better than they ever lived in the village. They're getting plenty of food. They're getting 3 good meals a day plus snack time.
Yeah.
They're living in much better conditions. They have electricity. They have plumbing. We buy several sets of uniforms, so they're always looking good. So we pay for everything. Technically, technically we say we don't pay for toiletries because we want the parents to really buy that. The reality is we end up buying toiletries for most of the kids because I remember early on I visited a kid once and he had no toilet paper, no toothpaste, no anything. He was borrowing it. And I took him, it was down the hill to a little store there, and I just bought him a whole bunch of toiletries. And so whatever they need, we'll just buy it. We want to make sure every one of our children has everything they need to be successful. And the reality, you buy some toiletries, it doesn't cost very much. Just buy it.
Right.
So yeah, they have everything they need.
Yeah, and I'm curious if because do they go home for breaks and things like that? And do you know what that experience is like for them, having now been in this place where these things are provided? What happens when they go home, Brett? Like, do you know what that experience is like for them?
Yeah, they do. There's 3 terms a year. They go home between each term and then home for a while at the end of the year before the next year begins. We talk about being poor. I don't think they really realize how poor they are until they get to high school.
Mhm.
Because until they get to high school, like most people in Dago don't realize how poor they are. But they just get up in the morning and they live their life. It's just their life. High school, now they're saying, oh my goodness, there's a whole nother world. And they see the internet and they see TV, stuff they never ever saw growing up. So I think they go back to Dago realizing how poor they are. But one of the things we do as a foundation is we require them to spend time at their primary school where they went and talk with the kids there, because our students are like rock stars, right? They got scholarships, they're going to high school now. We have in university and university graduates, so we require them to spend time there, basically giving the message to these kids, hey, I worked hard and look what happened to me. If you worked hard, maybe you could have the same thing happen to you. And they love doing it. They love going and talking to the primary school children.
Yeah. I love that too, of being an example. It reminds me when I was in middle school. So my elementary school was down the hill from the middle school, and the middle school kids would go down, like they would have a program where they would go down to the elementary school and be, they would read to the kids or be that, like, look what's coming if you just work hard and, do that kind of thing. So I love that kind of mentorship because that's teaching them to be leaders as well.
Right. The other thing is there's a pressure on these children that's hard for us to understand. I was raised by depression parents who were very poor, couldn't go to college, but they made sure they worked hard, and me and my brothers have had a great life. These kids grow up in an opposite world. Their parents back in the village tell them, keep working hard so you can get a good job, make a lot of money, get me out of the village and build me a nice home. I mean, think of the pressure on these kids, what the parents expect of them.
Well, that's the one thing I was going to ask you. Sometimes we see parents who are kind of stuck in their own stories, their own mentality of the poverty and things like that. And they don't really push for that education. We had a conversation with Susanna in Mexico this year, who has seen a lot of that, where the parents are like, look, no, you're coming to work at the corner farm with me, and that's it. Like, there's nothing else. And so do you see generally that push of the parents going, yes, go to school, fly, or is there ever that pushback?
Well, it's, we've talked in the past about it's a world. My brother came up with a line that Kenya is a place where the men rule, but the women do all the work. And it's very true. they push the boys. They don't really push the girls. Matter of fact, in our early years, we had a lot of parents, mothers and fathers saying, why do you send girls to school? Girls don't need to go to school. They just need to learn how to cook and clean and so on there. So yeah, they definitely push the boys, but not the girls. But we've seen that changing. And I think we're seeing it changing because the people have now seen girls go to high school. They've seen girls at university. We have girls at vocational school. They kind of call me a crazy Mzungu. Mzungu is the Swahili word for white person. I think now they realize maybe I'm not so crazy. Maybe it was a good idea, that we have this 50-50 rule that, we split all our money equally between girls and boys, because I think they're realizing now there are benefits with girls going to school. So yeah, I think, they've come along, and, the parents do want what's best for the children. Sometimes it doesn't always mean education. I don't know if I ever told you, in the early days, we used to have parents tell us they wanted us to pay them money for their children to go to school, because when the children go to school, they're losing free labor. And I was like, no, I'm not paying you money. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'll pay for your kids to go to school, but I'm not paying you money.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can see that though. It's, if that's they're dependent on that to live, but it also, I think, maybe empowers them to see the future, and to even step up a little bit more and know that, hey, this is temporary. This is going to be for the betterment of everybody if they go to school. I put your website down below, scrolling there. We have been playing often your ad spot on the show, and this show and the Breakthrough show, so that people can see and understand. And on the ad spot, it talks about one child for entire, is it all 4 years or 1 year is $3,500?
All 4 years. Yeah. All 4 years. So think about it. This is the coolest part, Jessica. We send children to these boarding schools all 4 years, room and board, books, fees, everything, for $3,500. That's $3 a day. So it's so little of our money that totally changes a child's life there.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's available. But I also want to say the one thing that we've been doing, I've done it through our family donates, and then I matched it with the Breakthrough show. So $21 a month is what we pay. And then we match it with the Breakthrough show. So $42 a month, which, I mean, so it doesn't have to be something where you have to pay $3,500 out of pocket.
Right.
You can also do a recurring donation as well, right?
Yes, we had in the last couple of years, we've had many more people doing recurring donations. There's a sweet elderly lady not too far from me who is wonderful. She's been doing $10 a month for like 5 years now. Her donations are really special, because $10 a month to her, I know, is a lot of money, but so it's so special for us. But $10, that's more than 3 days of a kid going to school.
Right. I mean, I think, look, any amount, and this really speaks to, we've had a couple different conversations there. There's more than enough money in this world that can really help people and help organizations. Even when, like I was telling a story recently, we found a bunny. It's a whole sad story. I'm not going to relive it for those of you that have heard it 8 times. There was a bunny, and we had to take it, long story short, to a wildlife sanctuary here. And it's the only one in the entire North Alabama, and they get zero money from the state. Nothing to help out at all. And so there's so many organizations like this where, like, listen, if we all just said, here's $1, if there are 30 of us that said, here's $1, that's $1 a day for the whole month. And it helps every little bit, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's, whatever somebody wants to give is great. And we're working with people who need everything, right? They need medical care, they need food, they need better housing, they need everything. But one of my lines I use now a lot is, let's not just help poor people, let's actually end poverty. Wouldn't it be nice if we get these people to a point where they don't need our help anymore? Yes. And yes, we need to do all these other things, but I started this with a firm belief, and I'm even more of a firm believer now. The only thing that's going to ever end poverty is children at least graduating through high school, and hopefully beyond that. And, most of the children in the world don't graduate high school.
Yeah. It's just sad to think about. And it's sad to think about, but at the same time, you have two different parts of me that are like, oh my God, this is a big issue. And then the other thing is like, but it could be so easy. It could be so easy to just, everybody helps out a little bit. And there we are. There we are. What is so we're halfway through 2022. What is coming up for the rest of the year for Weiss Scholarship Foundation? What are the biggest priorities for you guys right now? What are you working on?
Well, it generally is always about raising money, but an important part of our growth story, because my ultimate goal is I want to make sure this lasts beyond my lifetime. I mentioned that we're going to hire another person in Kenya. What we're doing is we're promoting what we call our mentor coordinators to be a country coordinator. I kind of have two jobs every day. I run the foundation, which has become a major task the last couple of years, and I fundraise. Well, running the foundation has become such a big job, I haven't had enough time to fundraise. So Christina Doyo, who's our mentor coordinator, we're making her the country coordinator. My goal is in the next 6 months that pretty much everything I do to run the foundation, she's going to do. So I can really focus on fundraising. That will be a big step for us in becoming this enduring foundation. And to be frank, she'll do it better than I'll do it because I'm 8,000 miles away and I'm not Kenyan. She's Kenyan. She's right there. She'll do a great job doing that. That's a very important part of our growth. We're going to have a big, last year we had a big virtual fundraiser. Yeah. September 20th, we're going to have another virtual fundraiser, and I'll be posting on social media and so on. And we're excited. We have a lot of video we can pick from now to use some things for that virtual fundraiser. But, the end of the year will be time for new scholarships. COVID has messed up the school years, but next year, January, they're going back to their normal school year, which is January through December. So that means right around Christmas time, we will pick new students. So, and the reality is people ask me, how many scholarships are we going to give? I ask them how much money they're going to give, because that's what it is. The more money we give, the more scholarships we can give. It is just that simple.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope that my hope is that we have at least one person that has watched today that's going to go make a donation and help out. That would be amazing. And also, I mentioned yesterday about your book, Brett. Where can people get this book?
You can go to Amazon. Just go up to Amazon. Just give them a hug. The rest will be easy, and you can purchase it. And any of the royalties, all go right to the foundation. I don't make anything. It's all to the foundation. It's all for the kids.
I love it. Well, I got the video to transfer. Meanwhile, see, look at me multitasking over here. I got it to work. And so here is the video of Brett and Olivia.
It is now.
Hi, Jessica. So we finally met thanks to the Breakthrough Show. So there's Brett.
Hi, Jessica. I promised you I would do this. We have been talking to Olivia for a long time.
Yes.
She is beyond amazing, even more than I thought. And we are thrilled to make this and send it to you because you connected us.
Yeah.
Jessica, I know you're really big on connecting people.
Yes, and so it happened. So thank you.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
I love it. Yay.
So, and I guess I'll add to this, Olivia, that the documentary that we're making, we had a discussion with Olivia about it. Now, there's a contract that has to be done on this, but Olivia has made us a very nice offer that her favorite song of mine will become part of the documentary.
Which song is it, Brett?
Okay, what's name? Gonna be just fine.
Better than just fine. Yes.
Better than, I love that song.
Me
And
too.
as a matter of fact, I'm very corny. When she walked in, we were staying at a little bit Airbnb. I purposely had the video of that song on the TV on YouTube when she walked in, and so on. So, and she explained a lot to us about the whole video. The girl in the video is her a few years earlier, all that kind of stuff. So we're very excited. Now we still have to do. There's an agreement that has to be made, but I'm pretty sure this is going to happen, that it'll be a part of the documentary, which I'm thrilled about. Matter of fact, when I asked her, I started to ask her the question. She clearly knew what I was going to ask. And before I could finish asking the question, she said yes.
I love it. I love it. I'm getting all emotional here because that song, there's a song by Mary J. Blige called Just Fine, which had been my anthem for a really tough time in my life. And then when I met Olivia and heard that song, and I was like, I've literally gone from just fine to better than just fine. Like I want more for my life. And what a beautiful theme and message to give to the children in Dago. I'm trying to hold myself together here. I didn't bring my tissues this morning.
So, a side funny story, the young woman that ran the Airbnb, we're in this 2-bedroom Airbnb in a nicer part of Nairobi. What a coincidence this was. It turned out Olivia had contacted her sometime back wanting to shoot that video at that Airbnb. This lady did not know who Olivia was and never got back to her. When they met, they realized, oh my goodness, we know each other. So they had a conversation. So Olivia's going to, the next time she does a video, she's going to do it at this Airbnb. I mean,
now she knows who she is.
Yes, right, yes.
I love it. Brett, it's been so nice to catch up with you again today. I would love for everybody to visit weissscholarshipfoundation.com. And listen, even if you're not in a place in your life where you can donate, I know that Brett really appreciates the sharing and telling people about it, because the more we spread the word, the more opportunity there is for people to get involved, right?
Yes, thank you very much, Jessica. Thank you to all the people who watch your show out there. Many of your viewers have donated, and it's all appreciated. And yeah, if you can't donate, that's okay. If you spread the story, that's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Brett, it was so good to see you. And speaking of Brett, we're going to check out the Weiss Scholarship Foundation commercial here in just a moment, and we'll be right back after this.
Imagine a world where every child gets a great education. Educating all children is the only way to end poverty. This is what the Weiss Scholarship Foundation is working to accomplish. Our 6 staff members, our mentors and coordinators, who are on the ground in Kenya, are totally engaged in every aspect of our students' lives, so we can give them every opportunity for success. In just a few short years, we have already awarded 141 scholarships. We send children to high school who would have never gone without our support. And then we help them go on to either university or vocational school. We have already scaled our holistic business model to 4 locations and are ready to scale it to many more. Today it's Kenya, but tomorrow it's more countries. Please contribute what you can today. You can make a one-time donation, a recurring donation, or choose to sponsor a child all on your own for all 4 years of high school for just $3,500. Go to our website, www.weissscholarshipfoundation.org.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. It was so nice to have Brett on the show today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video of Brett and Olivia as much as I did. And I really, at the end here, getting very emotional because it's so... we have a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. And Brett and I were talking about that before the show this morning. And there's a lot of division happening and a lot of hate happening and a lot of things going on that are really, I am a very, very feeling person. I have a very strong empath personality, and it's challenging for me to witness what's going on. But we see people coming together. We see these things happening. We see people willing to step up and make a difference. And it really does balance, at least tries to balance out that stuff for me. And so it's beautiful to see the amazing things happening in the world. So I hope you will visit Weiss Scholarship Foundation and make a donation or share or something to help get the word out about this organization. We have to celebrate some birthdays this morning in the celebrity world. Elon Musk's birthday is today. Kathy Bates and John Cusack, actress and actor, love both of them. Kathy Bates is a little scary, but we still love her and wish her a happy birthday. In the celebrities in my life, listen, Angela Thomas and I went to church together for quite some time. Happy birthday, Angela. Larissa Perez. Larissa and I have known each other since we were babies, little tiny. Now we have kids. And do you believe that, Larissa? Happy birthday to you. Catherine Stuff's birthday is today. And Breakthrough alumni, entrepreneur, coach extraordinaire, Joe Nicasio's birthday is today, otherwise known as Gangsta Joe. I love you, Joe. I hope you have a great day. So those are the birthdays we're celebrating today. Without further ado, let's get our birthday song on. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Elon Musk, Kathy Bates, even though you're scary, John Cusack, Joe Nicasio, Catherine Steff, Larissa Perez, and Angela Thomas. Happy birthday to you. Yes, happy birthday. I hope you have an amazing day. I want to thank, oh no booze. See, this is what happens when I push buttons. I hope you guys are set up to have a great day. I want to thank you guys so much for being here this morning. Tomorrow, we are starting a little bit of our the 3-day series, little mini series. I'm going to be joined by 3 of my fellow favorite co-hosts. Tomorrow, I have Veron Dozier, who's incredible. Thursday, I have Loren Michaels Harris co-hosting. And then Friday, we have Trip Bodenheimer, aka Bodie, co-hosting on the show. So can't wait to spend the next few days with those guys. Coming up tonight on the Breakthrough Show Network, 5:05 p.m. Central Time, is another episode of My Way, conversations with entrepreneurs doing business outside the box. Vince Cortese is on the show tonight. He's an entrepreneur that has a really incredible story about how surviving renal cancer has just changed his life. And we're going to see how it may have helped him do things his way. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
You've been tuned in to Project Joy Live with Jessica Dugas, your weekday morning talk show, inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes only on the Breakthrough Show Network. Binge all past episodes of Project Joy at projectjoypodcast.com. Until next time, help us spread the joy by sharing this episode, and we'll see you soon.